Hello, everybody. I didn't even say it like that. Hold on. So here's what's going on. Man. Okay, so here's what's happening, right? As you create equal trade with the environment, establish equal trade where you're gaining and the environment is gaining, and that creates a current going back and forth. The idea is that if no one's gaining and no one's losing, then nothing's happening. What's happening? Confusing, right? Frustration. And that frustration, like they say at the beginning of the universe, a lot of heat was there. That frustration becomes heat, heated energy, energy becomes matter. Keeps things going, keeps things developing, keeps things becoming more. Now equilibrium, frustration continues, creating matter. Now, the argument is that as we do this, each individual participating in this equal trade will, due to the frustration of matter and energy, gain more matter, gain more logical matter, financial matter, shelter matter, all those things, because they are doing things right enough to not contradict or set off the loss-gain system, right? So here's what happens. You guys hear that somebody's rich or that someone has high value, and you say, because they have more, I can take more from them. But because I still have as much as I have, I only need to give as much as I have. And what this does is it creates a loss. So they have more, they have more, and you think, oh, they can survive it. No, that's not right. And then you take more, right? And because you don't have as much as that, they're not receiving equal trade. This creates loss, right? And the loss looks like it's happening to them because you're the one that's gaining more. But because you're the one creating the loss falls back on you. And so it's like this. If you were to take things back down to the level of equilibrium, you would just be somebody your own size with the same level of resources. You would be taking as much as you can from them while giving them as little as you possibly can. And this would eventually shrink them from the environment until they didn't exist anymore. They'd be like, pop, and they'd be like, poof, right? But that loss, because you generated it and because you have a direct connection to it, that sucking will return as you getting sucked into the loss. And so you have more conflict, you have more problems, and this is when people start hating the rich. This is ouch. This is when people start hating the rich. And so it applies to other things well. This applies to traits. So I'm told that I'm a very intelligent person, right? Very intelligent. And so people go, oh, he's very intelligent. That means that he needs to provide more with everything he says and does while also being given less because he has enough intelligence to do more with less. This establishes loss, yada, yada, yada. I start losing, right? But because I'm not the one creating the loss, my loss is just space around me becoming bigger, which makes me appear to be smaller. And so what happens is it looks like, but you're not getting any money. I don't see any bitches, right? But it's more like this is how I end up in situations like this, where no matter how much I'm not getting, there always seems to be enough left in the logical fields for me to end up in a good spot. Like I'm gonna eat today, right? I'm gonna get food today. I already know I am. And you guys can like reserve that to try and create loss for me to be like, he didn't get food. I thought blah 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 blah. But I'm gonna eat today, and it's the reason that things always seem to work out for me, right? Like it's the reason that like my teeth are still clean. I still look like a clean person. I'm still able to just explain and describe everything. That's what that is. It's even as because I'm still at a fair trade, a fair exchange. My space is still increasing, and you were trying to take from that space, which is creating loss through yourself, which makes it look like I'm losing because the whole idea is that you're taking as much as you can from me, but you can't even hold that because you cannot give that much. And so you just lose, right? You lose, or the loss occurs around you. But because you're taking in that field of perspective, it just looks like I'm just being taken from, like I'm the one who's losing. And there's an argument of like, no, he's got too much. He's got too much. We need to give him less. No, right? And so things would be healthier established if no matter how intelligent I was, no matter how rich I was, no matter how attractive I was, no matter how good it seemed my life was, you treated me the way that you would treat yourself if you had very little. And it sounds strange, but it follows that rule that I suggested earlier. which is even if someone is able to handle the taking, never take more than you are certain that you can give back in return within that same moment's notice. Okay, so another thing that's going on. This is what I call reserve taking. And so the currency that all of us are sharing, right? The little thing between all of us that we're all passing around and trying to keep each other going. You know, we're all giving to each other and they're like, here, take this energy and turn it into a current that gives more, right? And so it gets represented as the things around us. It gets represented as what is that gonna be? What is that gonna be? Is that gonna be a burger? Yeah, it's gonna be a burger. That's, look at that burger. Look at that burger. That's a good burger. Oh, there's no cheese on it. Fuck, hold on. Okay, and look at that burger. Oh my gosh, that burger looks fucking delicious, bro. Wow, that's a good looking fucking burger, bro. Oh my gosh. So, it gets represented as the money that people have, the food that they have, and all their other resources. And here's what happens. You guys cutting me off from being able to work, cutting me off from being able to communicate with anybody, yada, 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 all that stuff, is creating a position in which I can only access this current through people who have job access to it, right? And so if I want to eat today, if I want to have a place to stay, then I'm sucked into having to do what other people want around me who have access to these currencies, systems, in order to be able to survive, right? And it's perfect. And this follows the whole, no, he's too intelligent. We should be taking as much as we can and giving him less. This is his whole thing. This is his gift. He needs to be giving his gift. This is a gift from God. If he believed in God, then he wouldn't be doing this, right? So what goes on is same thing here. You guys just reserve, like you just stop trading, right? But you're still taking as much, but you stop giving. And through that, you're generating the same kind of loss that's generated here. But because it's happening on a larger scale, so you all share the mass, right? You're all sharing the mass. And as you all give and take, it generates nothing, and then that's like confusing, that's frustrating, and so it continues things going. No problems, no news. There have been no shootings, stabbings, or bombings near my area in the last couple of days because no one feels like they've lost enough to have to do that, right? But here's the thing. So we've come, and this is in the idea that this is relative to a loss. We've come a long way and developed a lot of navigational logical systems that that were just established by us doing equal trade, that gave us the space around us to interact with the environment. Now, you guys believe that you have enough time to survive what you're doing to me, that you can just do what you're doing to me, and then whenever I die off because I won't do what you say, then you can go back to doing equal trade, and it'll all be fine. You just suffer for now, it'll be okay, right? Here's the issue. The second that I'm lost that far, that's such a big black hole, and you guys have in a direct connection of sucking with it, that it'll just pull you into it, like that there's an actual debt being paid. Because once again, the whole argument is that I'm so valuable that I should be charged more and given less. That's the whole argument, right? And so you are taking from something that has value, and the loss of that value will actually be a loss on the entire system of currency. And so let's say within the system, everyone stops giving as much as they're taking. And I didn't draw this well, but everyone's taking, right? And there's this mass around it, and this mass is occurring as community, civilization, home, no one's fighting, there are no problems, all of that, right? As you keep taking, that mass shrinks. And at first it gets smaller around all of you. It gets smaller around all of you, right? And this mass is full of all the logical developed systems that establish safety, privilege, and all that stuff. As it shrinks, and you guys keep taking, it'll start to break apart, meaning all these logical structures will no longer be around, and it'll just be around you guys for a little bit as you continue taking. And once you get to this point is where I think you guys will get into your reserve states, but also I can tell that you'll also get into your take strategies, and this is where, because you have less and you have ignored things, so you guys do this thing where you all go, yeah, he might be right, but what if we all just decided to stop talking? Or what if we all just decided that we didn't want to, and then he couldn't do anything about it because we just don't want to. Like he can't claim that all of us need to change, or how does it go? It's what if we all pretend, or what if we all collectively right now stop giving to him? Because if we all do it, whenever he says, "Whoa, you guys are taking from me right now. I'm over here dying," we can all say, "We're not doing anything." And it'll still be true because we're not doing anything. And he won't be able to explain how all of us are participating in this because it'll just make him sound crazy every time he tries because we'll just deny it. And so, all these systems, all these things that we have deteriorate around as you guys keep taking to try and eliminate me or to try and get as much for yourselves. Once again, loss, even if I die, which I don't think will happen. I think it will just keep experiencing me getting around the situation in more interesting and sort of dumb ways that seem obvious but stupid and not sayable but also obviously explainable, stuff like that. You guys will have less. You'll have broken down these sources of communication, these sources of logic, these sources of structure, so much so that me still being at equilibrium trade, even as you attempt to kind of mess with me, kind of pull me this way as hard as you can, and pull me that way as hard as you can, so that eventually I give too much or I take too much. Like right there, that's one of the ways, that's literally what just happened. I just dropped my keyboard, I just dropped my tablet because of that whole thing. You guys will end up lost, unable to explain what's going on, and still clinging on to a source for currency. And because of my equal trade, my frustration will eventually materialize that source, that currency. And so your attempt to eliminate me collectively will end up putting me on the upside in which you are all giving to me, which will probably just end up with like news articles of like, there, he does it again. Millionaire playboy, fucking whiz genius kid, whiz fucking god, fucking does it again. He's a fucking asshole. He has too much, and we only asked for him to give us as much as he has, while we give him as much as we have, but we don't have that much, and it would just be taken from him so much that he would die. And he's such an asshole because he's rich. And it doesn't fucking matter. We're not fucking talking about it. We don't understand these things. It's not our fault, right? So it'll just be that going on, or it'll be like I think I've handled the situation with the women enough that you guys won't be take baiting me anymore. I've literally got it all described right here, everything that goes wrong, so much so that I noticed that I wasn't urged to make a video about it. So yeah, that's all this is, guys. And if you lost track, I'm gonna try and summarize it very fast. Equal trade establishes that it appears that nothing's changing. This is a frustration that continues to develop energy. A lot of energy is claimed to be at the beginning of the universe. The beginning of the universe is still happening right now. I didn't mean to throw that in there. And so this frustration will continue creating energy. This energy will become matter, and matter will become multiple things. It'll become logical, physical, communicational. It'll become all these things, and we'll be able to create more stuff out of what we have just by seeing more and being able to make more by knowing that it's illogical for all of us to be going and then to just be stopping out of nowhere. As we do this, we'll all develop more mass, we'll all develop more currency, and this will turn into our homes, our apartments, our houses, all that stuff. But as you guys feel that you're not gaining anything because you are trying to take as much as you can without giving the equal amount, you will all see that I have a lot. You have already done this to me, and collectively as a group, you will start reserving what you give me and demanding more because you know that I have more. You'll say, no, fuck that, he asks too much. We shouldn't have to do that for him. Your reserving is actually just is taking from me, because at this point, even if I've got a lot, what you guys are doing is, because I have a lot, what's supposed to be equal trade established between all of you is becoming a situation in which all of you are cooperating and coordinating to suggest that because I have much, that you can take from me without giving as much. And so as each of you all around me take as much or take more than you're giving me, that loss increases from multiple directions until I'm homeless, until I'm struggling. And that's when you guys will be like, he needs to take better care of him. He needs God. He needs God. That's what it is. And that's it, it'll just be like he needs to make better decisions. That's not our fault. Oh, that's not right. And once again, these will go into different traits. Like he's very intelligent. He should be giving us more while we give him less. He's rich. He should be giving us more while we give him less. He's attractive. He should be giving us more while he gives us less. Like stuff like that, right? And then I will gain more while it looks like I'm losing in those prospective moments. And that'll always turn into me being able to find a work around the situation, because as you guys shrink the matter that you have around you, me providing will just kind of grow into the spaces that you guys lose. And I'll always be able to work something out. Even if you guys were to like be like, well, we need to take as much as we can right now to see if he'll work something out. Then you've already tried to kill me, and you've already tried to make me a rapist. I mean, like at this point, you would literally just have to say, we're all the bad guys. We don't care. And you guys know that you lose your attempt to be innocent whenever you kill me if you do that. So you won't. So yeah, that's all it is. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, let's stop doing this now. Let's stop doing this. Yeah, let's go.